Welcome to Corvallis, Oregon, Research Stadium, home to the Beavers, and you better get used to the sound of chainsaws as the fans here have been ready for this clash since early this morning. Fresno State will kick it off, and we will be underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Oregon State's offense will be first on the attack. Last week was a tape they'd rather just put right in the dumpster and forget about it. David, how does a guy bounce back from a game like the one he had last week?
Well, hopefully he burned that tape, because that was not pretty. That was not what they're wanting to do, man. Just turning the football over, not enough productive plays. And so how do you bounce back? How do you get started in this football game? Jesse, make it easy. Get him in a rhythm. Don't make it very complicated. Don't give him a chance to turn it over again. You don't need to put this losing streak to another digit in the column.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was two big things. I think, one, he was just pressing. He was trying to force the big play to happen when there were other completions to be had. So he's just got to do a better job being patient. And I think the guys around him also have to step up as well. They need to run the football. They need to get that controlled passing game going on early to get into a rhythm, as you said, to help this guy get into a good headspace here early and turn the page from what happened the last time out.
Back to throw, it's Murphy. Catch in the middle, it's Wells. There he goes. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. And the Beavers come to the line with a new set of downs. Got it in the middle, it's Wells. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
It's a bang-bang play. You're running a slant. The DB's draped all over the wide receiver. He's got to make a contested catch, but he shows really strong hands on that one.
Got it in the middle. It's Walker. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Really nice job by the quarterback understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit it in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it, because he really didn't have a choice, because he was going to wear that one regardless.
Finds his man. It's Carr. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs. The Beavers are rolling down the field. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. A strike downfield. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Got his man quickly. And he'll run into the end zone. Touchdown, Beavers! They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. Oh, and the extra point is blocked. That's a live ball. He can take it back for two. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside is 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Fresno State's offense has the ball for the first time. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. Couldn't make the connection on second down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. Back to pass, it's Warner. Fires to the tight end. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Hold it.
This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. Fresno State will have to punt it away. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. They'll put a stop to that return as he gets it up to the 41-yard line. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Always a positive to put up early points, and they'll try to add to this 6-0 edge. Looking to throw on first down. Snagged in the middle. It's Wells. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32. The Beavers in the hurry-up.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Stop behind the line, he'll lose a yard. And the Beavers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. They've got the screen set up. He gets it past the first down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks. The Beavers look to do some damage in the red zone. Caught in the backfield, it's Walker. Got some room, headed to the goal line, and he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon State.
Nice drive, nice touchdown. I love this offense's response.
Oh, and they blocked it. He picks it up. That's a live ball. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
He's out of bounds after a big pickup, but there's a flag on the field, and this might be coming back. A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. And here comes the offense on second down. To the air, it's Warner. Throws to the wideout. Got his man downfield. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Let's see how successful they'll be on 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance. Wants to throw it. Oh, they're after him. Makes the grab on the left.
Man, it's so important when you play QB. I got to know when to put some air on it, and I got to know when to rocket that thing in there. Work in the middle of the field. He knew he needed the rocket. Threw it in there. Great job, great catch.
And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. Fresno State will have to punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. From the gun to give, looking for room. And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves them with 2nd and short.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. Motion from the wideout. From the gun, running back gets to give. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And that's a great play by the defensive end. The best athletes on the field play defensive end. You can ask anybody. Yes, I agree, Jesse Reese. See, they agree with me. Same thing. But you watch him get off the football, make the play. That's why you pitch it.
He's loose. The 20. Touchdown, Beaver! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And he'll bring it back. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. They've fallen into this big hole and they are pretty desperate for answers right now. Looking to throw, it's Warner. They're working that left side. They were able to make the completion, but he had to pick his way for just a little bit. Needed a little more help to spring him for some yardage.
Yeah, if you're going to have success when you throw it outside like that, you're going to need some more blocking and better blocking downfield. Give the defense credit, though. They were able to rally and made a tackle.
They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. And the Bulldogs come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. It's complete to the right. That'll be enough for a fresh set of downs. He gets it to the 32.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
Moving out of the pocket. He's going to run it. Makes the grab down the left side. He's into the open down the middle. Into the end zone unimpeded, except for that piece of laundry on the field. This might be coming back. What a costly mistake and big call. They could have been right back in this thing, and now they'll have to try it again. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. And now this offense will try to overcome that 2nd down incompletion. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Fresno State will have to punt it away. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. That's caught. It's Walker. Turning it on. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Oregon State.
And unbelievable timing with the quarterback and wide receiver. Get it to him in his hands, right on his frame where he can run after the catch and do some serious damage.
And that's why he's so dangerous, because of that ability after the catch. For these DBs in this game, you've got to tackle the reception, because if you don't get him down, he's taking it to the house.
He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Back to throw, it's Warner. Fires to the middle. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver, and the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good lesson for young receivers out there watching.
Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. Hauls it in. Hauled down, but he has enough to move the chains. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. He's going to take off. He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
I love it. The defense brings extra bodies near the line of scrimmage. They choose to blitz, get to him, try to speed up the processor just a little bit, force the scramble, no damage done. Nice job by this defense making him think really quickly and make a decision.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at him. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like, really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere.
And they will score. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
They do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half where you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
Man, this quarterback is having himself a day. Over 200 yards in the first half. It was hard enough for Palmer to get over 200 in a game, more or less in a first half.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's 1st down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Looking downfield, it's Murphy. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Beavers! The AT unit on the field. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
He gets a block. He is electric in the return game, and that one has the offense set up nicely. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Going right to work up top. Makes the grab. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the 1st down, and they like to do this. When they make a 1st down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Finds his man. It's Freeman. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. To the air on second down. Short throw to the sideline is complete, and he's out of bounds after picking up a couple.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and
He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. To the air, it's Murphy. He wants to take the top off. Pulls in the deep ball. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. Power football with the run. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the...
And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Oregon State.
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and they score again before going in at halftime, guys. I'm hoping we can have a running clock here in the second half.
40, Fresno State, 7.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Looking downfield, it's Warner. Right down the middle. Oh, he drops the football. He had him right down the gut of the field. Instead, it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. He's taking the shot. Makes the catch down the right side. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. To the air on first down. It's incomplete and maybe a little too aggressive from this senior trying to fit that one in there. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. He might want another play. On second down, he'll try to make the connection this time. The pass falls incomplete, and there are 8 seconds left.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. The offense calls timeout, and they won't have any more left this half. And in the final seconds of the first half, they'll send out the field goal unit. Splits the uprights. Good. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, you've been calling a lively one from there in Corvallis.
The Beavers will kick it away to crank up the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Fresno State takes over, and the offense will go back to work. Got blown out in the first half and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the third quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build that momentum, and then that becomes infectious for the defense, for special teams. Everything can change. It just takes one play.
It really can, and it's so strange, and you can't quantify it. I don't know how to describe it as a coach or as a player, but you got to make something happen, and it's got to start on this drive.
Fires to the right. And it falls incomplete, and the offense is lucky to have it. Defender right there almost had it in his grasp.
Well, after struggling so much in the first half, you thought they would have made some adjustments here at halftime to see if they can open up this passing game. But early on in the second half, they're just not really able to get that done. Incompletion on third down in your own end, you're expecting them to punt.
The incomplete pass ends a frustrating series, and they turn it over on downs. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He'll keep it himself. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure.
Throws toward the end zone. And that ball was in harm's way, and he is lucky to get that one back. And they decide to trot out the kicker. The kicker will reach for a 36-yard attempt. Absolutely perfect. Well, that's just piling on. Not the penalty kind, just the mean kind.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
When you hear about it all the time in football, go for it, be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. To the air, it's Warner. Gets it out quickly. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you could tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on.
Well, that DB did everything right on that deep shot. You saw the speed, you saw his ability to turn his hips, and how about getting his head around, locating the football, and then knocking it away? Couldn't have done.
Breaks into the open. He's at the 20. Touchdown Bulldogs. Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house.
This receiver is dangerous because of what he can do after the catch. Once he has the football, he is so good at making defenders miss. You saw it on that play.
Trying to punch it in. He's not quite going to get there, and the try for 2 fails, and they are unable to cut into this lead any further. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football.
And that is why they're called the Handstein people on onside kicks. Great job jumping on that ball.
Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Here's the handoff. Makes a man miss. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
It's so nice as an offense to know you can generate explosive plays by handing the football off to this guy. He has got incredible speed.
It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. Finding open areas. So close to that end zone. He can almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense. And the Beavers, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Trying to punch it in. Touchdown, Beavers! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And how about this offense? Another scoring drive. Great job. They seem to be in a much better rhythm than they were a week ago. They're 0-1, lost week 1. They could have got down on themselves. I like the way they bounced back. Now they're going to be 1-1 with this performance.
Fresno State, 16.
On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled and you realize what's going on, now I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on his last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? They're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the defense got it. Touchdown, Oregon State. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
Man, defenses are always trying to force turnovers to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover. The pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. I guess it could have been worse on that return. He goes out of bounds at the 15. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. Back to throw, it's Warner. Here's the pressure. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, you wonder that time if the QB was just forcing that one over to his running back. He's already made some catches in this game. The defense is aware of that, though, and that time they had outstanding coverage. There was no way that was going to be complete.
And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the bag and get him down for a big loss.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know what pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
Fires to the right. And the incomplete pass lets this defense get the ball back for its own great field position. Great place to start for this offense. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. And maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right, things that they...
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight.
Number 28 on the field goal.
Splits the uprights right down the middle. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance.
It's a fumble. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. Touchdown, Beaver! And they turn it into a defensive score.
They're winning the game, and the defense is helping out their own cause. That's the time in this game they've recovered a fumble and taken it in for a touchdown. We know they're opportunistic, and they pride themselves on being athletic and being physical, but they're showing you why you cannot make mistakes and cough the football up when you play them.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. Getting set for the point after. And the extra point is good, and got to be happy about that after missing a pair. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Clemson had an impressive showing there in Death Valley, winning this one by double digits, although it felt like it could have been more. Somewhere even Trevor Lawrence is impressed with this one. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
Oh, he's got some space. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease, he puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
The give to the back. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Went with the running game on first down, now back at it. To the air, it's Warner. Zings it complete to the right. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. The line to gain here is the 43-yard line, and it's 3rd down. Here comes the option. The pitch. Got room at the 35. Lots of running room. Touchdown, Fresno State. How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option?
They call it the option because there's so many options on the play. There's so many things they can do. The defense did a good job taking away the quarterback. But, man, they lost track of the running back. Great blocking. Running back takes it all the way for the huge touchdown.
67. Fresno State, 23.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Pulls it in. It's Hankerson. He goes out of bounds, and that'll take us to the start of the 4th quarter. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. And a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Walker. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick them up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches the pass. You saw it on that last play.
From the gun, running back on the move. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
I think one of the biggest reasons why the scoreboard looks the way it does is this offense has been dominant on 3rd down. They have found a way to stay on the field. They do it again here late, running the ball on 3rd.
There he goes. Picks up the first down, still moving. The 20. Past the 10. And he slipped.